So we're doing a kidney, right?
Mm-hmm.
The kidney.
That the kidney right there. I can see it.
Your reader,
Comes out of the kidney.
and then the capsule.
Capsule's a whole dark brown outside.
The renal cortex.
Follows back. Now, the renal cortex is both a region and a structure. This is out of not old, just torso woman, life size. So you can see the renal cortex, and it looks very different. So that's all renal cortex. Cortex always surrounds the medulla. So the renal medulla is this inside part. Now, if I flag the structure, I'm going to be specific on what I want, but if I flag and ask region, renal medulla, whether it's over here or right here, it's renal medulla. Okay, region is medulla. Structure will depend. Now you guys should be ready for the structures.
Okay, the
Renal pyramid.
pyramids.
If I flag right in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 renal pyramids. She has 4. They're all cut. 4 of them guys.
Base of renal pyramid.
Okay, the base is the big broad part. So if I flag back here, base, right in the middle, the renal pyramid. If I flag right here at the point, renal apex of renal pyramid, so you put base of renal pyramid, apex of renal pyramid, and then cross off papillary duct. I could flag it on this model, but I won't, because I won't flag it on anything else anyway.
Okay, so the renal papilla.
Cross off. Now,
The cortical nephron.
cortical nephron. Now, I'm not going to ask this as a question in here, but I'm going to show you where they're at. And I'll talk about them in lecture. But where I'm touching, I'm covering them up. So what I tried to do is cover every one of them except the bottommost. So the cortical nephrons, and this would go all the way through this whole thing, the whole cortex. The cortical nephrons make up 85% of the nephrons. The functional unit is the nephron. Only 15% are what are called juxtamedullary, right near, so they're right up against the medulla. Okay, so they're just literally the very last ones down here. The rest are all cortical. But like I said, I won't ask that.
So the juxtamedullary
Medullary are right
underneath.
against the renal medulla. They're the very last ones.
Bowman's capsule.
This whole thing is it's showing Bowman's capsule. Okay, the other one, when you lift that out, doesn't come off in 2 pieces, and they shouldn't. They should still be attached, but somebody break it. So let me try to put it back together and put it back. There we go. Okay. Now, Bowman's capsule, when they're together, this knot of capillaries is tied up with Bowman's capsule. That is actually a renal corpuscle. So this one is cut, so you can see the outer edge is the capsule, so is this one. And what they've done is take this part, enlarge it here, then they took that and really enlarged it. And this is kind of not quite that big, but a lot bigger than that. Okay, so it's magnifications that you're looking at. Now,
The proximal convoluted tubule.
convoluted comes right out of Bowman's capsule, so that's it. But over here, so you're coming right out of Bowman's capsule, there it is, and this one comes out the opposite direction. And once you get to this point where it straightens, that's going to be the descending limb of loop of Henle. That's how it needs to read. Descending limb of loop of Henle.
So
Loop, I think, is missing. So of loop of Henle. Then this piece way down here would be the loop of Henle. Then if you've gone down, you got to come back up. So that's the ascending limb of loop of Henle until it bends. Okay, and then right there where this guy bends, you're at the very end. There, I'll go the right way now. Okay, that's the distal convoluted tuber. And then when they join, that becomes the collecting duct. And then papillary duct cross off. It's not really long enough to truly be one. I know Susan put it because that's how the urine's going to pass, but I'll just do it in lecture.
okay, the minor
Calyx. Every pyramid has a minor calyx. Okay, so these 2 are cut, these are whole. And hers are all cut, but you can see the minor calyx. And where 2 of them or more come together, that's a major calyx. So there are 3 right here, there's a major calyx. Okay, so those 3 came together. Those 2 came together, and they all join up. So pretty much this area right in here is going to be the renal pelvis. And no matter how many pyramids you have, you only have 2 to 3 major calyces. That's plural. Okay. Then you go into the renal pelvis, then out the ureter to the urinary bladder.
So now we have blood vessels.
Mhm.
The renal artery.
Right there. So when we did the oxygen from the lungs, we got to the renal artery, and then I said we'd learn all the rest. Now we're going to learn the rest. As
Segment.
soon as it branches, those are segmental arteries. Okay, so they're branching all over. Interlobars right here. There's one of them right here. They will section, kind of separate the pyramids from each other, renal pyramids from each other. So they come up, then they arc around the base of the pyramid as the arcuate. So there's an arcuate on this side. And then they come up into the cortex and get even smaller in diameter, interlobular. So you went from interlobar, between lobes, into interlobular little lobes. Then you go into the, leaving them, the afferent arterioles, into the glomerulus, the knot of capillaries inside Bowman's capsule. Then you come out in the efferent arteriole. So this one's coming this way. So this one's the afferent arriving, there's the efferent leaving. They become the peritubular capillaries, run up and down, more three-dimensional than this shows. And then they're connected by what's called the vasa recta. If you can get that far and remember every arteriole, you've got the veins because they run parallel to them. So if these were interlobular arteries, there's an interlobular vein. And this is really how they do these sit side by side. So artery, vein, interlobular. Arcuate artery, arcuate vein. Arcuate vein. Underneath that interlobar, there's the artery, there's the vein underneath. Artery, vein, interlobar. Then you come back in the segmentals, and then back into the renal vein, into the inferior vena cava. That was it?
Yeah.
Okay.